I'm Peter Jennings in New York. Just a short while ago, astonishing news from East Germany, where the East German authorities have said, in essence, that the Berlin Wall doesn't mean anything anymore. The wall that the East Germans put up in 1961 to keep its people in will now be breached by anybody who wants to leave. The East German media chief in the Communist Party said a short while ago that anyone who wants to leave East Germany and go anywhere in the world is free to do so.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Reporting tonight from Berlin.
From the Berlin Wall specifically, take a look at them. They've been there since last night. They are here in the thousands. They are here in the tens of thousands. Occasionally they shout, Die Mauer muss weg, the wall must go. Thousands and thousands of West Germans come to make the point that the wall has suddenly become irrelevant.
Though has the wall really become irrelevant? 29 years after the wall fell, it now serves a totally different purpose. It's full of art, but that's not what we're here to find out. Of course, Germany used to be divided into two countries. The West was capitalist and the East was communist. Berlin was also divided by a wall. The half the city belonging to the GDR and the other half to the BRD. We are here to interview the people of Berlin to find out if in the past 29 years Berlin has united. All right, thanks for taking the time to answer a couple of questions. First of all, you live in Berlin, right?
Yes, sir. I live in Berlin.
Okay, so of course, Berlin used to be divided into the east and the west of Berlin. The wall divided the city. Do you think that since the wall has fallen, that Berlin has kind of united again, or do you think that Berlin is still divided in some way?
Berlin is still divided because the east is some kind of they miss the east, the communists. They are crazy now.
Okay.
Some kind of people, yeah, they miss the communists and all that kind of live, but they oh fuck, I don't know how to say. I hate you now.
But we still love you.
Thank you. They are dividing by like the old people. The young people, it's like, yeah, they are together and they want to be together and they want to be like some kind of, yeah, we were communists, now we are capitalists and we are more crazy now, but I don't know. But so they have some kind of different kind of mind, but that makes that Berlin is Berlin.
So you think that the people of East Berlin still kind of miss that communism of the GDR?
The old people. I mean,
so yeah, the
old people, yeah.
So the old people, you think that between the old people there's still a divide, but the young people, they really are in Berlin, not in East Berlin or in West Berlin?
No, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Okay. So what he's saying is that for the older generation, there still may be a divide. But for the younger generation, no, they are united. Let's see how some other people think about it. All right, thanks for taking the time to answer a couple of questions. So first of all, you live in Berlin, right?
Right.
Berlin used to be divided into the east and the west. The east belonging to the GDR and the west belonging to the
BRD.
Yeah, BRD. Do you still think there's a divide between East and West Berlin? Not as in a wall, but as in maybe a social segregation.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think it is still kind of divided, but more in the generation of my parents, for example, or my grandparents. So I was born in January of 98, sorry. So there's no difference for me
kind of what you're saying is for the older people, they still kind of feel that divide because, of course, they used to live in East Berlin.
Yeah.
But you say like, okay, I've never, well, maybe a year, but I've never really lived in the East Berlin. I've just lived in Berlin. So for you, it feels like it's one. But for the older people,
Yeah, I'm socialized by my parents. They were born in GDR, so I should feel kind of a difference, but I don't. So I guess it's okay.
So far we've only asked men, and they've both come to the conclusion that for the older generation there still is a divide, but for the younger generation there isn't. Harm got some girls to answer the questions for us, so let's see what they think about it. Here we go.
okay, thanks for taking the time to answer these questions. First of all, you live in Berlin, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think that since in 1990 the wall has fallen, Berlin has kind of united?
Yes, I think there's this memory of the wall and we know what happened, but especially for young people there's just no difference between East and West. But maybe some old people think that there's still a difference. For example, my grandma sometimes just talks and she thinks there's still a difference, but it's really weird, so we don't feel it at all.
No. We all different cultures and from other sides of Berlin, and we all live together and do things, so I don't think
It's just my grandma who thinks it's there's a difference, but it isn't.
All right, so then kind of for the older people there's still the memory of the East and the West, but for the younger people?
No, we don't feel it at all. So
Not at all.
During the time of the divided Germany, Checkpoint Charlie, also known as Checkpoint C, was a crossing point between East and West Germany. Checkpoint Charlie became a symbol of the Cold War, representing the separation of East and West. Until 1952, the East and West border remained easily crossed. Even after the closing of the border in 1952, Checkpoint Charlie remained more easily accessible than the rest of the border. Checkpoint Charlie was put on non-active on June 22, 1990, and now serves a purpose as a tourist attraction. So after doing research and interviews, to what conclusion have we come? Is Berlin united, or is Berlin still divided?
Berlin is one.
Berlin is one.
So that is the conclusion to which we've come. For the older people, there may still be a divide, but for the younger people there isn't. Walls won't keep us separated forever, and let's just say that Berlin is one.
Yeah!
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man.
I love you. Yeah! I'm famous. I love you, Amsterdam.
Thank you, man.
Amsterdam.
Yes.
Yeah, I love you.
Thanks, man. Heb je dat nog gefilmd? I really wish I had taped that. All right, man. Have a nice day. Ciao. Thanks.
Legend.